All right, guys, welcome back. Day 9 of the 30-day content posting challenge. Today's episode is inspired by an absolute legend, Ben, who's reached out with a couple of questions of his own. These questions I can resonate with so much. They're actually things that I used to struggle with. Some things I still kind of do struggle with. Now, Ben's asked about swing speed versus distance. He's asked, how do I keep my wrist quiet in the golf swing? And then he's also asked about how to keep his mind quieter when he's playing golf. Now, Ben suffers from FND and also from ADHD. So with those two things together, if you don't know what FND is, it's a functional neurological disorder. So, you know, he does have a bit of a disability there, but it doesn't stop him from playing golf. He just has to play it a different way. So Ben, I absolutely feel you with this. Obviously having ADHD myself, I know exactly what you're going through, and I'm going to give you some tips to help you through your next game. Let's start with part 1, which is swing speed versus distance. Now, all I'm going to say is stop chasing speed, right? Like, I know a lot of people will, and golf coaches, and I'm not a golf coach, but from my own experiences, stop chasing speed, at least for now. What I would rather focus on is efficiency. I would rather be trying to find the center of the club face every time so that I at least can A, control my dispersion a little bit more, and B, just have that little bit more consistency with my ball striking. So a lot of coaches will tell you the other way around. They'll say, you know, just train in speed, train in speed, train in speed. Look, we're amateurs at the end of the day. It's probably more important that we try and train in center face contact, because ultimately that's going to control where the ball's going to go. I mean, there's no point ripping the absolute casing off the ball, swinging as hard as you can, hitting it 300 meters and you're 300 meters in the bush. Like, what's the point? And then you have to chip out, you're losing shots. Why not dial it back a little bit? And I'm going to give you a little nugget here, because dialing it back doesn't mean swinging slower. It just means finding a comfortable speed where you can deliver the club faster at the right time. Now, this might not make a lot of sense to you right now, but what is crucial is delivering the club as fast as you can at impact. So it's not about getting to the top and reefing on it. You're just wasting energy. You look at a lot of the pros and how they deliver the club and why they all look so laggy. And I know you use the word lag when you're talking about it. I don't even think of the word lag, because lag just throws me off. But what I think about is delivering as much speed as I can at the ball. So I know you've seen my swing, and I feel like I'm swinging as hard as I possibly can. And when I watch myself back, I'm swinging so slow, but I still manage to get distance out of my drives. And I know you've seen it yourself when you play with me. I can keep up with a couple of those big guys, and I don't swing anywhere near as fast as them. But the difference is I ensure that I am efficient. I ensure that I find the center of the club face so I can get the most out of my swing. And that is what I would love for you to try and do. I want you to get yourself a couple of, just even if it's masking tape, you can buy yourself these impact stickers. Hold that thought, because I actually think I have some here. Look at that, I actually do. So what these are called are impact stickers. Impact stickers, you stick it on the club face, and every time you impact the ball, it'll show you on the sticker where you've impacted it. Obviously your goal is to get as many in the center. But also another good drill too is not just trying to get the center every time. Try and get a feeling for what it feels like to hit it off the toe. Try and get a feeling for what it feels like to hit it off the heel, so that you know when you're playing, when you're mishitting it, and when you're not hitting the center of the club face. You will develop that feel. Promise you, you will. I never thought I would, and I ended up doing it. Now I can tell as soon as I've hit it, yep, that's come off the toe. That's come off the heel. We want the center so that we can get the most efficiency, so that we can hit the ball further without swinging harder. We'll come back to that in another video, but for now, I think that'll get you by. All right, wrist control. Something I suffer with still today, and you know, I've broken my wrist in the past. Wrist control's been an issue for me, but I did overcome the hardest part of it all early on, just by doing a number of drills, and I'm going to give a couple to you now. So what I would do if you feel like your wrists are too active in the golf swing, if you're pulling it, if you're snapping the face shut, and you just feel like your wrists are doing too much, the best drill that I would do is just go to the driving range. There's two parts to this. Go to the driving range and do like 50% swings, because at 50% swings, you're going to be concentrating more on being a little bit more tempo focused, and not so much, you know, swing hard at it. And I feel like the harder you go to swing at it, the more out of sync you become. So once you become out of sync, The only thing that's going to be able to save you is your wrists. So when you're in sync, everything moves as one. So everything has a job, everything has a position, everything does what it's supposed to do. When you're out of sync, your wrists have to do so much to either catch you up or slow you down. And these things can be extremely mobile and they can cause so much drama in your golf swing, as you've probably experienced. So doing those drills where I go down all the way down to like 5% swing. So personally, I'll do like 10 balls with 50%, 5 balls with 25%, and then 5 balls with say 10%. I want to get that feeling because I always find that brings my tempo back, and I find that that brings me in sync and my wrists don't have to do nowhere near as much. So I actually do this on the course too. When I'm hitting it really bad, I will start thinking, okay, and I spoke about this in yesterday's video, like I will just start treating it as a bit of a practice round, and I'll just start thinking about a bit of tempo, and might even just practice some tempo training on course in a competition environment, just to see if what does a 50% tempo feel like, and does the ball still go as far as it does on my say 100%. You will be so surprised, and this goes back to part 1 of this video. Efficiency will give you extra distance. I did a drill with the coach a long time ago where he's like, just swing at 70%. And I was like, yeah, no worries. So I swung at 70%, and swung at 70%. I actually hit the ball further because my smash factor was higher. So there's a lot of work to do in that space, and I think that'll be something for another video where I'll explain smash factor. I might even go on the course, get a GC quad out, and show you some numbers, and I swear it will blow your mind how all this works. You look at Freddie Couples. He doesn't even look like he's swinging the club at all, and he still monsters it. So there's a lot to take away from that. So the second part to practice is punch shots. Punch shots are really good for quietening down your wrists, because punch shots, you have to be in sync. You can't just lift your hands up and throw it down. You're not going to get the ball go anywhere. So practice punch shots. Even if they're just little 9-to-9 ones, you'll find that your wrists will stay super quiet. I mean, the only thing that's left to keep your wrist quiet is to tape them up together, but it makes it really hard to rake in balls when they're taped up together. But honestly, those first 2 that I've given you will be plenty, and I'd love to hear how you went with them if you give it a go. So jump in the comments next time you're in and let me know. Right, for part 3, I can resonate with you on this, and I know obviously I don't have FND, but I have ADHD. I know what it's like to have an overactive mind. I know what it's like to have a million swing thoughts happening all at once. I know what it's like to get halfway up through your backswing and be thinking about dinner. It's just the way our brains work. And you know what? It is a beautiful thing and not something to be embarrassed about, not something to shy away from. I find it, for me, it's a blessing, and I love that I'm so active and hyper. I'm sure it comes through in my videos that I ramble and I rant. It's just my brain taking off in a million different directions at once. I've got a few quick tips that I can give you to help with this area. Now, the first one will be an ADHD one, and that'll be to just go into every game with just one swing thought, just one. And you know what, it can be anything. So think about anything that's going to help you. Maybe go on the range, try 3 or 4 of your key swing thoughts that you would normally use, and see how they're going on the day, and see which one works. Take it onto the course and stick to it. Another tip, and ADHD focused again, this one is to make sure that you stick to a pre-shot routine. Obviously, our brains like to be busy. They like to have something to do at all times, and there's nothing better than to give it a pre-shot routine to go through every time you go and take a shot, because your body will be like, oh, I'm about to take a shot. Right, let's go through this pre-shot routine, and off it goes. And all that does as well, it will start to calm you down, it'll calm your nerves, it'll tell your body that, look, we're going to do exactly what we do every other time, and we're going to make this work. Pre-shot routines are crucial, and especially for people like you and I, they are the best. You need to do it and develop a really intricate one. Like, our brains can handle it, so give it a go. Now, the last piece of advice I've got for you to do with your FND, what I would do, and from even playing with you, I would see this. Obviously, your muscles start to fire in probably the wrong order. They start, and you start to get tired. You start to lose your balance. What I would suggest is incorporate into your pre-shot routine some breathing exercises, where just before your shot, take some real deep breaths. Calm those muscles down, calm your nerves down, and then your body should hopefully settle itself that way, because your body's preparing for something that it's not supposed to be doing. The golf swing is not a normal movement. So I feel like stepping up to your shot, getting some real deep breaths in, a nice deep breath out, it'll relax your body, it will bring some fresh oxygen into your body, into your bloodstream, it'll calm your muscles down, getting you ready for that shot. The other thing too, I think, is obviously, again, your muscles are firing like crazy. incorporate a little bit of stretching into your pre-shot routine. Could be something as simple as just stretching out your arms, stretching out your legs, anything. So to Ben and anybody else out there who's battling their brain or their body, you're not alone. And you know what? There's nothing worse than when you're battling something that no one can even see. So I feel you, and I know there's a lot of people out there that share that too. Guys, thanks for tuning in as usual. Tomorrow we'll be back for day 10. I'm looking forward to it. If you've got any questions, get in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. See you tomorrow.